You walk into a laundromat carrying a basket of clothes and a few dollars in your pocket. The doors are open. The machines are already spinning. Nobody behind a counter is cooking food, stocking shelves, or convincing you to buy anything. You load a washer, press a button, and do most of the work yourself. From the outside, it looks like one of the closest things to passive income you can own. But the real economics behind that spinning drum are far more demanding than they appear. A laundromat is not simply a room filled with machines that collect money. It is a utility-heavy retail business, a miniature factory, a real estate decision, a mechanical repair operation, and a customer service company compressed into one storefront. You earn revenue one wash and one dry at a time, but you take on large costs long before the first customer ever presses start. So, what are you really buying when you buy a laundromat? You are buying turns. A turn is one paid cycle on one machine. If a washer is used 4 times in a day, that washer produces 4 turns. The basic revenue formula is simple. Price per turn, multiplied by turns per day, multiplied by the number of machines, multiplied by the number of operating days. Suppose you operate 20 washers. The average wash price is $5. Each washer completes 4 paid cycles per day. That creates $400 of washer revenue in one day. Now add dryers. Some customers may spend $3. Others may spend $5 or $6, depending on the size of the load, the heat setting, and how efficiently the washer removed water before drying. Add detergent vending. Add snacks. Add wash and fold service. Add pickup and delivery. Add commercial accounts from salons, gyms, restaurants, cleaning companies, short-term rentals, or small hotels. Suddenly, the store looks like it could produce serious revenue. But revenue is not profit. Profit is what remains after every cost required to produce that revenue has been paid. A store can collect $30,000 in a month and still leave the owner with surprisingly little. The gap between money entering the payment system and money reaching your bank account is where the real story begins. How quickly can that gap grow? Start with the building. A laundromat usually needs a visible location, convenient parking, strong foot traffic, enough electrical capacity, large water lines, proper drainage, powerful ventilation, and often expensive natural gas infrastructure. A cheap storefront can become expensive the moment contractors open the walls. A beautiful storefront can become useless if the surrounding neighborhood does not have enough customers. A busy shopping center can become dangerous if the lease is too short. This is the first reason the business is not as simple as it looks. You are not only choosing a retail location, you are choosing a utility system. That lease matters more than many new owners realize. Commercial washers and dryers cannot be moved as casually as desks and chairs. Plumbing, concrete pads, gas lines, electrical panels, water heating systems, ductwork, drains, and payment infrastructure can tie your investment to one address. Capital means the money invested in assets that are expected to generate income over time. If your lease expires before those assets have paid for themselves, the landlord gains enormous negotiating power. You may own the machines, but the landlord controls the ground beneath them. A short lease can reduce the resale value of the business because a future buyer needs enough time to recover the purchase price. A long lease can create stability, but it can also lock you into rent increases, maintenance obligations, common area charges, and personal guarantees. A personal guarantee means you may remain responsible for the rent even if the business fails. The storefront closes. The lease obligation may not. The Laundry Association says coin laundries can range in market value from around $50,000 to more than $1 million. It also reports annual cash flow ranging from roughly $15,000 to $300,000. Cash flow means the actual money left moving through the business after operating expenses. It is not the large gross sales figure displayed at the top of a spreadsheet. That enormous range reveals something important. You are not buying a generic laundromat. You are buying a specific lease, a specific customer base, a specific machine mix, a specific utility profile, and a specific collection of risks. Then come the machines. A modern laundromat may include small washers for everyday loads, medium machines for families, and large capacity machines for comforters, rugs, and bulky laundry. Larger machines cost more, but they can also command higher prices per cycle. The machine mix influences the customer mix. Too many small machines may limit revenue during busy periods. Too many large machines may leave expensive equipment unused. Every square foot must earn its place. A machine that looks profitable on a manufacturer's brochure may not be profitable in your neighborhood if customers do not need that capacity. The purchase price is only the beginning. Machines require freight, installation, bases, connections, payment hardware, programming, testing, and maintenance. A store with 40 machines may represent a major equipment investment before construction is included. This is where depreciation enters the picture. Depreciation is the gradual loss of an asset's economic value as it ages, wears out, and moves closer to replacement. Your washers may operate for years, but every cycle creates wear. Every spin moves bearings, belts, seals, valves, locks, pumps, and control boards closer to repair. If you treat every dollar remaining after today's bills as spendable income, the store can appear profitable right until several machines need to be replaced. A disciplined owner creates a replacement reserve. That is money set aside regularly for future equipment purchases and major repairs. No invoice arrives today, but the cost is still being created today. Every turn produces revenue and consumes a tiny part of the machine's remaining life. Ignore that economic reality, and your future self inherits the bill. Is the income still passive when a $12,000 washer stops working on Saturday morning? Now look at utilities. Every wash consumes water. Every drain can create a sewer charge. Every dryer consumes gas or electricity. Water heaters run. Lights stay on. Air conditioning fights the heat created by dozens of machines. Security cameras, payment terminals, vending equipment, Wi-Fi, doors, signs, and monitoring systems continue using electricity even when the store is quiet. Utilities are not a small background expense. They are part of the product you sell. Customers are paying you to convert water, energy, detergent, equipment time, and floor space into clean clothes. The U.S. Energy Information Administration tracks commercial electricity prices, but national averages can hide large differences between states, cities, and utility territories. Water and sewer pricing can vary even more sharply, because local systems often determine those charges. Two identical laundromats can have very different profits because one sits on the wrong side of a municipal boundary. Efficiency, therefore, changes the economics twice. First, efficient equipment can reduce the cost of each cycle. Second, faster machines can increase the number of cycles completed during busy hours. Energy Star says certified commercial clothes washers are about 9% more energy efficient on average and use roughly 45% less water than standard models. That does not mean replacing every old machine automatically produces a good return. Return means the financial gain you receive compared with the money you invested. A machine that saves water but remains unused cannot repay its purchase price. The real question is how much each machine saves, how often it turns, how much you can charge, and how long you control the location. A washer that extracts more water from clothes can also reduce dryer time. That lowers energy consumption. Customers finish faster. Dryers become available sooner. The store can process more laundry during peak hours. Capacity means the maximum amount of paid work the store can handle during a period of time. More machines do not create more revenue if too few customers arrive. But too few working machines can push customers away when demand peaks. A broken machine does more than create a repair bill. It removes capacity. It may require a refund. It may delay a customer. It may create a negative review. It may send that customer to a competitor. If several machines fail during a busy weekend, the damage spreads across sales, reputation, and future visits. Preventive maintenance means servicing equipment before it fails. The correct question is not whether a service adds sales. The correct question is whether it adds enough contribution margin. Contribution margin means the money from an additional sale that remains after the direct cost of producing that sale. A $20 wash and fold order is not attractive if labor, detergent, packaging, payment fees, refunds, and delivery consume $19. Growth without contribution margin can make you busier while leaving you poorer. Then comes the most dangerous part of buying an existing laundromat: believing the seller's numbers. Cash-heavy businesses can be difficult to audit. A seller may show handwritten collection records. The bank deposits may not match. The tax returns may show less income than the sales claim. The machines may be older than they appear. Utility bills may reveal a different story. You need the numbers to agree with one another. Payment reports, bank statements, tax returns, water consumption, gas usage, electricity usage, machine counts, vend prices, lease payments, repair records, customer traffic. If the claimed number of turns would require far more water than the utility bills show, something is wrong. If revenue suddenly rises just before the business is listed for sale, you need to understand why. If the seller says every machine works, test every machine. This process is called due diligence. Due diligence means independently verifying the facts before committing your money. The Laundry Association describes verifying income, expenses, and net profit as one of the most difficult parts of purchasing an existing laundromat. You inspect the lease. You inspect equipment age. You review maintenance history. You confirm permits. You study utility bills. You examine environmental risks. You check nearby development. You review competition. You ask whether the building will be sold, renovated, or demolished. You are not only asking what the store earned last year, you are asking what could cause it to earn less next year. You also need to understand valuation. An existing laundromat is often valued according to the cash flow it produces, adjusted for the quality of the lease, equipment, location, records, and future risk. A seller may describe every personal expense as an adjustment. The seller may add back a salary, vehicle, travel, phone, and family payroll to make the business appear more profitable. Some adjustments may be legitimate. Others may hide real operating needs. Seller's discretionary earnings means the estimated financial benefit available to one owner-operator after certain owner-specific expenses are adjusted. It can be useful. It can also be misleading if you need to hire someone to perform the work the seller performed personally. A store that produces $100,000 for an owner working 40 hours per week is different from a store producing $100,000 with a manager already included. Both show the same number. They do not create the same lifestyle. This is where the passive income question becomes personal. How much of the reported profit exists because the owner cleans the store, repairs machines, handles refunds, collects money, manages attendance, and answers late-night calls? If you replace that owner with paid employees and contractors, what remains? You are not buying only income. You may be buying a job disguised as an investment. The business can become more passive over time. You can install remote monitoring. You can hire attendants. You can use a cleaning company. You can build maintenance schedules. You can create refund procedures. You can automate pricing. You can hire a manager. You can outsource bookkeeping. But each layer of freedom has a price. The more work you delegate, the more revenue the store must produce to preserve your profit. Passive income is often active income, with a management system placed on top of it. The system is the real asset. A strong system tells the attendant what to check. It tells the technician when to inspect machines. It records refunds. It tracks turns. It compares utility usage with revenue. It monitors customer complaints. It identifies unusual declines. It protects cash. It keeps the store clean when you are not present. Without systems, absence becomes neglect. With systems, absence can become ownership. So, is owning a laundromat a good business? It can be. Demand is recurring. Customers usually pay before receiving the service. Inventory is limited. The equipment produces revenue repeatedly. A strong location can serve the same neighborhood for years. Modern technology can reduce daily involvement. Large machines and added services can improve revenue. But none of those advantages erase the risks. The upfront investment can be large. The location cannot easily be changed. Utilities can rise. Machines can fail. Rent can increase. Debt can reduce flexibility. Employees can add complexity. A new competitor can improve the customer experience and pull demand away. The best owners do not treat the business as passive. They treat it as measurable. They know turns per day. They know revenue per machine. They know utility cost as a percentage of sales. They know repair history. They know peak hours. They know customer complaints. They know how much cash must remain in reserve. They know which machine should be replaced next. They know what the lease allows. They know what 1 hour of downtime costs. That knowledge creates freedom later, not the machines alone. The real product is not laundry. It is reliable access to working capacity in the right neighborhood at the right price. The washers and dryers are only the delivery system. Your advantage comes from selecting the location, controlling costs, keeping equipment available, building trust, and making customers prefer your store over the one down the road. You walked into a laundromat believing the machines spun by themselves. Now you can see everything that has to keep turning behind them. That is the cost you pay.